Hey guys, hi, Bryson here, and today we're gonna take a look at a couple that lives together in San Francisco on $200,000. And I always hear, Tommy, the reason you can save so much money is because you are not married, and on top of that, you also don't have any kids. So I'm interested to find out exactly how these two people here actually spend their money together as a couple, because still, $200,000 is a ton of money anywhere, even though San Francisco is one of the most expensive places to live in America. Okay, I'm just saying. On top of that, guys, I also do post videos on the channel every single day, so make sure to also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. Now, without further ado, let's see exactly how this couple actually spends so much money. By the way, it says living together. I'm assuming they're a couple, but they might not be a couple. So I'm just saying that just in case they're not a couple. Okay, there you go.
I love San Francisco. I love the Bay Area. I know this might sound weird, but I literally feel energy when I come into the city, and I think it's a magical place where you can make anything happen.
All right, so it already sounds like it's like one of those like energy and crystal vibes. You know, like those people that I always think about like energy and crystals. Like this gives me like this energy. I'm not really a big fan of this stuff, and I'm not a big fan of people that pay a ton of money, a premium on something, just because it's like, hey, you know what? It just makes me feel like this energy right here, I don't know. What do you guys think? $200,000 in San Francisco. It's a lot of money.
I'm Scott.
I'm Rachel.
We're both 28 years old.
Together we make $200,000 a year.
And we live in San Francisco.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Both 28, together, they work. That's awesome.
I'm an immigration officer for U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services. I conduct naturalization interviews and permanent resident card interviews.
That is one of those jobs, guys, that will forever be in demand, because there's always going to be people wanting to come to America unless something changes. You never really know. But the point is, it's one of those government jobs that's always going to be in demand. So a great choice here with that career.
I'm an assistant controller and CPA at WalkMe. My job is to go over the financial statements and all of our expenses accounts.
That's awesome. So he's a CPA. By the way, these are both two very, very good jobs, by the way, okay? I'm an accountant also, not a CPA, never wanted to do that. However, being a CPA and also working in the government, those are two great careers right off the bat. And I'm guessing, since he knows so much about finances and making sure everything is fine, and she knows so much about minorities, I'm hoping here there's a really good balance of like how they spend their money. Let's see.
So I think with rent, I pay a little bit extra and I pay the utilities just because I make more. When it comes to food, we usually split things down the middle. When we go out, we try to split the bill or we trade off.
It's been
Okay, so here it is right here. Rachel and Scott, typical monthly spending is $10,910. By the way, spending is kind of like, like spending is everything included here, but let's agree that they also have $5,000 in savings, so that's not really counting for spending. So right off the bat, we can say they spend around like $5,000 every single month or so. By the way, Dave Ramsey always says, like having a couple and trying to keep your finances separate is like impossible. There's no need to do that, okay? Once you're together as a couple and you're actually married, you have to combine things and get on the same page. Now, housing, $2,600, probably like for a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom. I think it's super expensive, but then again, they want to live in San Francisco. I don't know. Utilities, $180, okay. Insurance, $220. I like people that spend money on insurance because basically it's better to have insurance than not to have it and then regret it. Transportation, $190. Not that bad at all. Not that bad at all. Subscriptions, $230. That's way too much money in subscriptions. Like, what do you have on top of that? Food and drinks, $650. That is a ton of money for two people. What are you guys eating? What are you eating? Okay, debt repayment, $680. I'm guessing that's on student loan debts because they probably have some of that. Dog, $180. Miscellaneous, $440. Listen, man, when it comes to miscellaneous being above $100, I don't know anything miscellaneous about it whatsoever. Okay, obviously there are some things here that I don't like, but I do like they save and invest $5,500, and that's around almost half. Is that half? No, that's not, yeah. And by the way, if you guys notice here, okay, $10,000 times 12 is only around $120,000. So where's the rest of the $80K? I'm guessing taxes, income taxes. I don't know. There's money here that's missing. I want to find out. By the way, they live in a 1-bedroom and they have parking for $2,600. Way too much money.
It's been great being with an accountant who knows how to budget for everything and has a
Okay, so they split the rent 1,200 and 1,440. I don't care. You can split it like triple ways. I think it's still so much money, like for a couple. I don't know. You know, and by the way, those are jobs you can do anywhere in America because again, they're in demand anywhere in America. So there's no need to live like in that 1-bedroom apartment with parking and spend so much money on rent.
Now that we're engaged and my money is her money is the way I see it. So we're all going towards our, the same goal.
Yeah, you see what I said there? You know, like once you're engaged, once you're about to get married, like your money is her money is your money. Yeah, that's how it works, you know? That's how it works. That's a good thing. I'm not making a face here. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And I was an agriculture extension agent in Panama. I did a lot of educational work with them to get them to increase their productivity with farming. And
That's awesome. That's awesome. She's obviously been doing a lot to get involved with like, like third world countries and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
I got paid $300 a month. I didn't have electricity or water, so no utilities.
But then again, $300 a month, that's a lot of money. Like over there at least, like in Panama, that should be like a lot of money. Over here, like what are you going to do with that? But in Panama, that's a lot of money.
Washed my clothes in a river, and I did bucket showers for 2 years. So
That's insane. That's insane. That's how, whenever I go to my grandma's house in DR, sometimes you have to take bucket showers also because again, in third world countries, like running water is not like 24/7. So it also stops. Electricity is also not 24/7 either. So all these things come on and off. So I get the sentiment here.
Definitely prepared me for living in San Francisco, and I feel like I can live really cheaply, and I don't have to go out if I really need to save.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I don't know what the big deal is about like San Francisco and New York and all these big cities and you want to live there and you want to spend all this money on the city. In reality, when you have a job like the job that she has and her husband or her like engaged husband or whatever you want to call it, the answer is you guys don't have to like pinch pennies here and there. You can live like literally anywhere else in the world, still basically have an in-demand job and be able to save a ton of money and have financial freedom a lot faster. I don't mind when someone spends a lot of money living somewhere else, but I mind where you're not financially free just yet and you're spending all that money just to have that pleasure of just living in that place that's so expensive. $2,600, okay? For a 1-bedroom apartment with parking, it's insane. Let's be honest, okay? The average mortgage in America is $1,100. You're paying double for a 1-bedroom. It's crazy.
I make more now, but she being in the government, I'm gonna live off her benefits later in life. So, she has nice.
You guys saw her face. She's like, yeah, like I make a lot more money now, but like in the future, like what, I'm gonna be living off your benefits. She's like, yeah, okay. Rachel and Scott invest into multiple stocks and personal savings portfolios. By the way, guys, I want to make something very clear here, okay? Just because you're an accountant doesn't mean you know anything about investing. Warren Buffett will tell you the same exact thing. It's not about just accounting. It's about learning how to analyze companies. And a lot of people don't analyze companies. All they really do is just like, hey, I like that company. I'm going to put money into it. But if he's using his accounting skills to learn how to analyze a company and find, for example, its intrinsic value and invest on that basis, then obviously he's doing a good job. But I'm pretty sure they won't talk about that here because they always miss out all the details. Okay, and they do not have a savings account in any kind of bank. So they probably have like a money market account. So not having a savings account, you might think is like crazy, but in reality, I think the only time to have a savings account is whenever you're gonna build your emergency account. And that's why I have one savings account with $12,000 inside of it, but that's just for my savings in case anything happens to me and I'm secured for at least 6 months or so. So I do think they need one. And it's going balls deep into investing is probably not the smartest idea. You need like to have like a emergency account just in case anything happens. They probably have like a money market account.
I think our big spending would be traveling. Usually we'll try to save money as much as we can using like travel points.
I'm definitely the spender, so every time I buy a SoulCycle class or
that's so you try to do credit card churning to actually get like the bonuses for to actually go out there and travel for a discount. It's pretty cool.
Get my nails done. Scott always says, we're gonna be poor forever. We both spend our own money on things that aren't necessaries, and so far we've agreed on everything.
So it sounds like she's a spender and he's like the more analytical person, but they also spend money on travel and things they don't need. In reality, my thing is this, whenever you have a couple or a person that basically wants to spend money on things, I usually say like, hey, start building assets that are going to pay for those liabilities that you actually want. And that's the entire solution, right? So if you want to, for example, live in San Francisco, we'll figure out to have somebody else pay for that, your investments. Because it looks right here like what they do have right now is a retirement account fund. Let's be honest, right? It's not really like a financial freedom account, okay? That's the main thing here. So they want like financial freedom that's going to take some savvy investing to replace all those expenses with assets that create and generate income for them. Scott and Rachel don't plan on getting joint bank accounts. I think that's a bad idea. If you're gonna be married, then why keep your financials actually separate? It's kind of like, it looks like, you know what, she's like, you know what, I want to like buy whatever I want to buy, and he's like, you know what, I want to do whatever I want to do also. The answer is, you know, you have to bring a combination of like, hey, what am I gonna do here? And I know that sounds scary as heck, guys, but in reality, if you're gonna get married and you trust that person, then you're good to go. Don't get married if you don't trust that person enough to actually do that. And that's why you should always wait a while before you get married. So far, I've been like with my girlfriend for like 4, maybe 5 years now. But I'll get married eventually though.
Before I did the Peace Corps, I was a shopaholic, and I kind of believed in retail therapy, and doing the Peace Corps, I couldn't do it. Like, I wouldn't be able to eat if I did that. And so now I believe in spending money on experiences and invest.
Yeah, but that's just like one liability. It's like replacing one liability with another one. You know what? Like, oh, before I was like 19, I spent all my money on clothes, and now I spend all my money on video games. You know, that's better. It's an experience, right? The answer is no. No, no, no. You want to get investments to pay for all the things you actually want to do. That's what you would do. Okay? That's the right answer.
Doing fitness classes that will benefit me and my health.
Okay, so it sounds like you spend the money on like yoga classes, like for exercise. I don't mind that. Not at all. Health is wealth, guys, right? But don't overspend, okay? Because health is wealth, but in reality, you can get a gym membership for like $15. You don't need to spend like $1,000 a month on any of that stuff, okay? So let's be very careful.
Definitely not as much time anymore to do it compared to when I was younger.
Oh, wow. So this guy does like archery since he was like 3 years old? That's awesome, man. I always wanted to do that. And I think I did it once with like a fake rubbery one. And all that happened was when I pulled the arrow back and I let it go, it just like flipped all around the place and it just like left me, you know. But I would love to do this, you know. But as a hobby, cool. You know, it's pretty cool to have a hobby, but it's also cool to have it balanced. But I can tell these people right here, they're not really spending a lot of money. It's just the place where they live. It's just a lot of money. So it's a bad idea to live there, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think Scott is exceptional at saving. I don't know anyone else that's my age that was able to save $100,000 within the first 3 years out of college. I think that's really great.
$100,000 saved within the first 3 years out of college. Now let's assume he's a CPA. Let's assume he got like 4 years to actually get his bachelor's and then a CPA like in 1 year. So let's say, for example, 18, if he went to college right away, that's 18 plus 4, that's around 22 plus 1, that's 23. So he would be like my age right now. And when he graduated, right? When he graduated and then his whole thing, and then like 3 years later, he's 26 and he just saved up 100K. That sounds like a ton of money, right? But it depends on where he actually works and also where he used to live. I'm interested to find out exactly where the heck she got that math from, okay? Unless he was working before that while he was in college. And by the way, guys, this is just the way my mind thinks, okay? I like finding the answers to all the things they actually say because I'm trying to figure this out, okay? $100,000 within 3 years, by the way, 100K divided by 3, that's around $33,000. If you're making, for example, 60K and you're saving half of your income, like after taxes and everything, in reality, it's not really that hard to do. But the hard thing to do is figure out a way to invest this thing to actually create income. Because at the end of the day, guys, I hate to say this, okay, but 100K, and if it's giving you 3% dividend every single year, well, that's only really going to pay you like around $3,000 every single year. So I like the stock market, but always like as a plan B. That's like my thing right there. And I only invest, for example, into companies when it comes to actually creating real wealth. But as far as like a retirement plan, that's separate. And the money you'll get, you need a lot of capital on top to actually make that money back and actually be able to actually make a lot of money.
If I can retire by 40, my end goal is my friends and I are going to start a company to invest in real estate. And so hopefully when we get enough units doing that, we have enough passive income to just be able to retire. And
all right, so Scott right now is 28 years old. he plans to retire at age 40, right? By having his job and also then eventually get into his real estate business. We're talking about 12 years of having this normal job and being married eventually with his wife, and then eventually going ahead and basically starting a real estate business. Here's my answer to you, okay? How the fudge are you going to get into the real estate business in San Francisco with that type of like high like aspect ratio when it comes to actually properties being so high? You know what I mean? The answer is this, okay? If I was Scott and his wife right now, I'd probably focus on right now and trying to get a place and starting off with one place, one deal, and then going on to the next and the next and the next and the next. Putting that dream or that goal away for 12 years, to me, it sounds insane, okay? And the general rule is this, okay? Grab a house that you actually buy that doesn't cost you more than 1/3 of your income, and that way you have another 66% to put into whatever else you want, and that way you can keep growing your business. But waiting 12 years to get started on this dream, it's not necessary. And in 12 years, imagine how much more properties in San Francisco are actually going to cost, okay? So within 12 years, to me, it sounds like insanity. If I were them, I would move out somewhere else that's cheaper within San Francisco, whatever the area, just like cheaper area, buy my first home, invest into that property, then rent it out, or basically keep buying, and that way we can get started right away, because it's very easy to save up for retirement. Oh, the stock market, everything's fine, but it's harder to have your money multiply itself through passive income streams. It's a little bit more difficult. But I believe that they can do it if they actually try to do it.
Well, I have a different goal. I love my job and I believe in public service, and I plan on working until I'm 62 to get my full benefits. And I know I need $1.2 million in my retirement to live off of 90% of my current income.
That's insane. So they have like two separate goals here. So it's kind of like living together, but also in a way living separate, okay? Or kind of like living separate and then coming together to understand each other and they're actually their goals, right? So the answer here is this, okay? I don't see the problem with like retiring. I don't see the problem with basically working a job until you're 62 years old, because I think that's pretty cool. Honestly, like, what are you going to do once you retire? The answer is you're going to get tired of traveling. Let's be honest here. So I like the aspect of like, hey, I love my job. I want to work my job for like forever and get my full benefits. I get that. But in reality, if all you really need is like 1.2 million, I have a calculator right here. I want to show you guys and check this out. So here's the math, guys, okay? Say, for example, right now they have a total of around $100,000 invested. I'm assuming they have way more money because the guy obviously saved a lot more money before that. And they're also going to combine their expenses and also their finances, right? That's what they said. However, if they're saving $5,000 every single month, like they said in this video, that's around $60K every single year. If they did that for around 12 years, when Scott is 40 years old, they would have around $1.5 million. So in reality, they could get to their goal a lot faster if they put more money in, and most likely if they didn't even live in San Francisco. So that's one way to do it, but in reality, I still think they should be able to actually go out there and invest into other streams of income, and that way that can generate more money. I'm not telling her to stop her job. She can still do it, but she doesn't have to wait until she's 62 years old to actually get financial freedom. That's way too long, and that's not necessary.
Unless Scott, you know, makes your real estate dreams come true, and then we don't have to work anymore. But
all right, so this sounds like, you see, now I just don't understand what the fudge is going on here. She says, I will be working unless Scott's dream comes true, and then that way we don't actually have to work, you know? I don't get it. I don't understand. Do you want to work or do you not want to work? Well, they're set to marry in 2020. I hope they got married this year. They plan on spending $40,000 in their wedding. Yeah. And using their savings to cover the cost. Okay, there we go, guys. Okay, I've seen enough. Here's what I think about this, guys, okay? I think these are two people that deep in heart are spenders. I'm being honest here, okay? Scott seems like a cool guy, but his wife is also a spender. And to be honest with you, it's very hard to be, for example, a cool collective person when the next person next to you is also a spender. Usually, you figure out a way to spend that money. $40K on a wedding is crazy. Spending $2,600 on rent in San Francisco is crazy. The idea of like, hey, I'm gonna wait 12 years to get into real estate is also crazy. I like these two people. I hope they're very successful. But in reality, here is, I think, a better mousetrap, okay? If you guys are gonna be making so much money, plus the job is in demand, why not move to a different area around your area that's actually cheaper, stay there for a while, and that way you can focus on investing more money over and over and over again, and also creating assets right now. Not waiting for 12 years to buy your first property, but start buying them right now. Why wait so long? I don't understand it. So overall, I think these guys are gonna do very well, but let's be honest, like at the end of the day, they're spending a ton of money on things they shouldn't be spending money on. I'm just saying. And the idea of like, hey, 12 years for this and that, I just don't like the idea. But guys, comment down below and let me know, what did you think about this video? Do you like the way they spend their money? Or you think it's like way too like, I don't really know about it? Comment down below, let me know. And as always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. On top of that, follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And before I go, if you want to watch another video on how NFL players spend their first $1 million, welcome to the round. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.